Okay, so guys, here we go again. You know, when people say multiculturalism has well and truly failed in the West, this next case will show you and illustrate why many people have come to that conclusion. A convicted Islamist who has served time in jail, I believe 4 years, for pushing out jihadi propaganda, is now trying to sue a pub because of the pub's name. So the pub is called the Saracen's Head, and he's saying how this is offensive. You know, they should take it down. He's saying it's offensive. You know, I want to seek damages. So he's basically demanding £1,850 from the pub, and he wants it removed. And he will by no means stop there. He will carry on looking for other pubs, and he will be making similar claims, or people from his community will be making similar claims. I've been saying it time and time again. I remember when I was talking about churches that were being converted to mosques, I was like, why churches? Why not just get some permission for land, and why not just buy buildings and convert them to mosques? Why are you so targeted on churches? And the truth is, whether anyone likes it or not, it's taking down British heritage. The churches symbolize heritage, the pubs symbolize heritage. So the churches need to be taken down, mosques need to be put there. Churches need to be replaced with mosques, and you know, pubs that have been standing for such a long time in the United Kingdom, you know, very iconic. You know, you go anywhere in the world, talk about British pubs, they have a conversation, or they say they want to go to a British pub. Now he wants to take that down and seek damages. This is an attack on British culture. This is what I'm saying. Many people were saying when I done the video of, you know, churches going to mosques, I remember some comments were saying, oh, if we don't use our churches, then I guess, you know, it's being put to better use. I was literally looking at some comments and just laughing. I was like, you clearly don't understand what this is about. This is not about the church. It starts with the church, then it goes to the pubs, then it goes to blasphemy laws, free speech, attack on your free speech. Then it's going to go to Sharia law in the UK. Like, are you seeing a pattern here? Some people wasn't seeing a pattern when I did that video. Listen, if you don't want to see that, if you don't want to be around that, then you can, I don't get it. Before I played the video, I really don't get it. The whole world you can choose from. But why do you come to the land of, which was once a Christian country, UK, but now not so much a Christian country, even though Christianity is the most predominant religion here, but it's not so much a Christian country now. And you want to enforce your ideas when there's other nations that are accommodating your ideas, but you don't want to be there, you want to be here. And on top of that, you've just come out of jail for 4 years for pushing jihadi propaganda. This is what I'm saying. Again, this is a problem with the British system. Why do you give him 4 years for pushing jihadi propaganda? Why 4 years? What's 4 years going to do to him? It's not going to do anything. He's coming out and saying, is that all I got, 4 years? Oh. Anyway, let me just walk around and be offended by some pubs, and then he's saying, yep, I'm offended by that pub, I want damages, because he's thinking he owns the system. You know? You're meant to give him life in jail for pushing jihadi propaganda, honestly. So, again, it is a weak British judicial system that I have to blame again. They're partially to blame for this because they're emboldening him for him to make such outrageous demands and to be offended and just to make a nuisance and a mockery of this whole situation. So yeah, I have to blame them, you know, as well. So yeah, but anyway, guys, let's get straight into the video, and yeah, I'll come with just a quick analysis since the introduction was quite long. So yeah, here we are. Welcome to Modern Britain 2024. This is actually happening. A guy is 60 years old. He is suing. His name is Khalid Bakar, and he served 4 years in jail for creating and distributing jihadi propaganda. So he's a sort of Islamist extremist. He's done 4 years in jail. He's now suing a pub
in Amersham in Buckinghamshire, the lovely town of Amersham in Buckinghamshire. It's on the high street. It's called the Saracen's Head. He's suing this pub because he's deeply offended by, quotes, the racist, close quotes, depiction of a bearded Arab Turk type guy on the pub sign. Right, there's two things I want to say about this. He wants £1,850 damage from the poor landlord who was just on Jeremy Kyle's show. So the landlord, Robbie Hayes, is being sued. May have to pay a lot of money to this guy because of this picture. If you're looking at it, it's just a picture of a guy, could be an Arab, could be a Turk. I mean, I'm not sure why that's offensive or racist. The Saracen's Head apparently has been in this position in this town for 500 years. 500 years. So, first of all, I'd like to say that if Khalid Barker is offended, deeply offended by this pub sign,
go away.
You
should go away.
Not care less. I don't give a damn if he's offended, because in this country you don't have the legal right not to be offended. If he wants to go and live in a country where they make his concerns and his fears about what offends him, illegal, then go and do it. But it won't happen here, mate. And this is ridiculous. So my question to you, Russell, is how does this lawsuit ever get allowed? This is a fatuous lawsuit. It should not be clogging up our overcrowded legal system. This guy should be told to go away, consider his nefarious past, distributing and creating jihadi propaganda literature for which he served a 4-year jail sentence, and to stop wasting our time and to shut the hell up. Wind your neck in and shut up. Yes?
Kevin O'Sullivan doesn't play any games, man. He's so direct with it. I love it.
Very definition of a frivolous lawsuit, isn't it? It's clearly being done to make a point. It's more about PR, I suspect, or some such thing behind the scenes rather than it is any legal merit. How any court will decide, and obviously this is a civil case, so he's paid his money to money claim online or to the online court service, and I guess I would imagine that he wants his day in court because that is the publicity that he's seeking for something or other. So maybe this isn't so much about him actually being offended, although frankly how you can be offended by a picture, deeply offended by a picture of a Saracen, and a Saracen is not an offensive term. A Saracen, if you look in Wikipedia in the dictionary, it's an Arab or Muslim man stemming back from the time of the Crusades. That's
a rugby team called a Saracens.
Yes, but it's a factual label.
It's not racist.
It's a piece of history. It's the same as the term Viking or Muslim even, or Christian. It's exactly the same, and it depicts someone from the time of the Crusades that happens to be either of an Arab, Turkish or Muslim descent. So there's no offence possibly here. So what will happen? I mean, goodness knows, in terms of what the court's going to do. What should happen is that the owner of the pub, who of course we've interviewed on Talk Today, should apply for, I think it's just a summary dismissal on the basis that this is indeed, as you say, wasting the time of the court. The problem is, of course, and this might be why the sum being sought here, Kev, is only 1,800 quid. The lower the claim, the lower the court fee. So this individual, this ex-terrorist sympathiser, or current terrorist sympathiser perhaps, is able to cause all this fuss and get his name in the papers and on the telly and on the radio, probably for the princely sum of about 90 quid. That'll be about the cost of this court action in the civil courts. How it could be thrown out, I don't know. I think only if the owner of the pub's lawyer is successful in convincing the magistrates that this is indeed spurious, frivolous, and a load of old nonsense.
Yeah, it's a reversion. These people are like medieval fanatics, they want to bring back blasphemy laws, they want to make desecration of religious texts illegal, they want Sharia law, frankly.
Guys, I promise you, I know Kevin O'Sullivan's saying that I did not watch this before. I just read a little bit of an article and he's literally saying what I said in the introduction, and that's because there is a pattern here. It's a clear pattern. It's one thing, then it's another, then it's another, then it's another, and then before you know it, it's game over. So this is what I'm saying, you know, pushing back against this is extremely important. So we must push back against this frivolous claim. And yeah, every time they try to impose, you know, themselves, we must push back against this. No blasphemy laws, no Sharia law. I'm sorry, man. But I'm not sorry, actually. Just if you want that, go somewhere else. You know, there's going to be no compensation. What do you need to be compensated for? You serious? You should be lucky you're not doing 100 years in jail, bro.
In this country, and it ain't gonna happen. And if he's successful, old Mr. Bakar, Khalid Bakar, he wants to take on 30 other pubs around the country with the same name. Don't you think that Mr. Bakar must be stopped at all costs? And don't you think that in future we should be able to plug this gap and not allow this kind of nonsensical legal action to clog up our already overcrowded legal system, our packed justice system, which is creaking at the seams, and we've got this idiot who is wasting everyone's time, as Russell quite rightly says, just trying to get headlines, just trying to score points with his Muslim mates. I'm an Islam hero, look what I'm doing. Well, no.
But do you think also, can I just wager that he might be, this particular individual, Khalid Bakar, he might be a bit thick? Can I venture that? On the basis that if this was a pub that, let's say, was called the Crusader, or the Richard Lionheart, right? He might, in his own tiny mind, have a slight case for being offended. You know, he walks past it as a Muslim and he thinks back 2,000 years to the Crusades or whatever. But the fact this actually depicts a Muslim kind of warrior, you would think that Khalid Bakar was actually quite impressed having that in his local high street as some kind of hark back, some tribute to his own history and past.
I'm not even sure, I don't know where Khalid Bakar is from. I'm not sure if he's from Amersham or not, or the local area. My guess is he's probably travelled long, far and wide to find this, to be offended by. But it's not geographical. As I say, he's going to go for 30 other pubs with the same name if he wins this case. But he just can't win this case. It's ridiculous. But also, I'm assuming, we tried to look this up, it's hard to establish this kind of fact, but I'm assuming that Khalid Bakar must be British. Otherwise, we'd have chucked him out of the country after his 4-year jail term, but don't count on it.
I just thought of a wonderful Christmas game for us all to play on Christmas Day, and that is Name the Offensive Pub. Because, of course, we talked previously on this channel about such pubs as the Black Boy, B-U-O-Y, the Black begins with B, rhymes with witch. All of these pubs...
That is a bit offensive, that one.
Well, no, but it's also a female dog. It's a female dog. There is a pub called the Black, and it begins with B.
Oh, it's the Black Bitch is what you're trying to say.
Oh, snap.
You get that, you know...
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to censor that. That's not the name of the pub.
Yes, it is.
I can think of people being a bit offended by that, to be honest with you.
Which is why you just said it.
Yeah, that's why I said it. No, I said it because that is the name of the pub. But there are these... You're right, Russell.
It's pathetic. It's ridiculous that we're now in a world where 500-year-old pubs that have been called a particular name for 500 years are now deemed by some people as offensive. Look, they are just names, and they are also of their time. Wind your necks in, for goodness sake, you woke wallies.
Yeah, but the Black Boy, the Black Bee, as we just said, you know, I could see people like, well, this is a bit off, you know, maybe we should change these names. Personally, I wouldn't, but I can see why some people may say, and this sounds a bit offensive. But the Saracen's Head, there's actually no reason to be offended by this at all. It isn't racist to call an Arab or a Turkish man a Saracen. That isn't racist. It's a description. And that picture, the pub sign, is not racist. It's a picture of an Arab or a Turk man, a Saracen. So look, that is not racist. So the case is ridiculous. I think it's a disgrace that it is allowed to clog up our legal system, and I think that people like Khalid Bakar need to be told where to get off, which I would suggest would be somewhere like Jeddah or Mecca. You'll feel more at home there, Khalid. Off you go, eh? Stop wasting our time.
The Black Bee. Alright guys, sorry I'm laughing because I just done some research on the Black Bee. I didn't even know a pub was called the Black Bee, honestly, but I'm seeing it here, campaigners to fight on as the Black Beeper becomes Willow Street. So yeah, this is the names that they had for, well, since they, you know, became a pub. So since they were founded, these are the names that they went by, you know. So listen, this is just history. Yeah, guys, just let me know what you think in the comment section down below. You know, life is just getting too crazy now. You know, woke is going crazy, extremism is just going crazy, and everyone's offended by everything. You know, so what's the point in having a democracy, or what's the point in having freedom of speech if people are just going to be offended by everything? That offends me, that offends you. And we see this all the time. This advert offends me, oh my days, it gets taken down. Oh my god, that poster offends me, it gets taken down. Oh my gosh, this job description offends me, it's just saying male, female, where's everything else? I'm offended. You know, people are just offended by everything. And honestly speaking, living in a time like, you know, the early 2000s, you know, woke wasn't even a thing. People were just getting on with life, you know. I probably would argue that, you know, communities were more cohesive, you know, they were more close-knit. People were, you know, more accepting of one another, less offended. And now we've just got to a point where just everything is just offensive. You can be offended by everything. Just walk a high street anywhere in the UK and something you can pick to offend you. So yeah, but anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next video. Peace.